Whether you love or hate the iPhone, you can't deny its obvious beauty. And you can tell from just looking at the Google Nexus One that Google and HTC wanted to make a phone with the same desirability. And for the most part, they've succeeded. It is a pretty good looking phone, complete with an aluminium casing. Now it's nice and light despite looking quite heavy, and it's nice and slim as well at 11.5mm thick. And it's really nice to hold in the hand, and that's thanks to its lovely round curved edges. In fact, we'd go as far to say this is the best looking Android handset to date. So not only is it slim and thin, but another one of its many wonderful features is its 3.7-inch capacitive AMOLED screen with twice the number of pixels in an iPhone, which really makes a difference when reading text or browsing web pages. It's really crisp, and the AMOLED technology is wonderfully bright too, although colours can often seem unnaturally oversaturated. But if it does get too bright, you can turn it down. To assist the touchscreen, there's a few hard keys along the bottom, which are pretty standard. The only downside is they don't always work on your first attempt. There's always a handy trackball offering a nice alternative to the touchscreen. Now in true Android style, there's 5 home screens which are yours to fully customise. The Nexus One also comes packing Android 2.1, and it's simplified the interface too. So instead of having to drag the menu across the screen to access it, you now hit the menu icon at the bottom of the screen, which just looks a lot nicer. It's a minor change, but a much welcomed one. And yes, it's not as slick or intuitive as the iPhone, but it's pretty close. It also has some very neat tricks of its own, like Google Voice for speech control. Stuff magazine. Search the web from the home page by speaking, and it actually works brilliantly. However, slightly less successful, but still impressive, is composing text with voice. Hello, my name is Lucy, and I work for Stuff.tv. If you lack patience, this certainly isn't for you. It will without a doubt misinterpret what you say most of the time. And lastly, there's Google Goggles, the visual search tool for exploring the web, which is quite clever and can also be very funny when it doesn't quite grasp what you're looking for. Take a picture of an object and find out about it online. It's that simple. There's also its built-in sat-nav software, which we haven't tested out, but must admit looks pretty good. Overall, there's no revolutionary change, but Android does now support Exchange email. The Nexus One also features live interactive wallpapers, which gives the phone quite a cool and unique edge. We must admit we love it, and making ripples in the water is surprisingly satisfying. Now if there's one thing this phone does well, that's being super speedy, and that's thanks to the 1GHz Snapdragon processor it's packing underneath the hood. If you're impatient, you'll fully appreciate how good the processor is. Even if you're not, you'll be impressed. This means browsing the web is enjoyable as opposed to frustrating, especially on its beautifully sized screen, which means web pages can be read even when zoomed out. What would make browsing the web much better though would be multi-touch, which the phone is supposed to have, but we're currently waiting for our update, which according to Google is supposed to be forwarded directly to each Nexus user's handset. So despite the phone proving very impressive at this point, there are a few outstanding issues. The unresponsive shortcut buttons at the bottom of the display, the lack of internal storage, and the mediocre battery life. 3 crucial things that really let the phone down. Saying that, its camera is far better than the iPhone's at 5 megapixels, complete with autofocus, which means it produces pics as good as Nokia's smartphones. Low light shots are less noisy than the iPhone, and there's an LED flash for nighttime snaps. It also takes good video, with direct uploads to YouTube. So, as hardware, the Nexus One beats the iPhone. It has a better camera, faster brain, and a nicer build. But Apple's software is so slick and its apps and accessories abundant that the iPhone still takes the lead. So the HTC Hero didn't quite deliver, but the Nexus One comes carrying the Google name and packs some serious power. It's not about one killer feature, it's about a combination of wonderful features that make it a fantastic handset. But I suppose what you're all wondering is it a veritable iPhone killer? Sadly, it isn't, but it is still a very, very good handset. I think I may have found a replacement for my BlackBerry.